If only one of you is drinking, you just should just stop.
And that is kind of a good way to kind of stretch out you're all hanging out with a bunch of friends at a restaurant.
Oh yeah, if you buy, everybody buys.
You got a cup of coffee or
Dessert.
a little dessert, and you're just sitting there chatting over the coffee and having a good old time.
Right. So these are things, and like you said, it didn't completely boil down to that, but
don't be a dick.
Kind of. Just remember.
It pretty much boiled down to don't be a dick.
Just remember, these are actual people that are serving you, and they're not doing it because they like it. They're doing it because they have to.
Yes, nobody actually likes working with the public. Even those of us who technically, in a way, like it, we like some of the parts of it and some of the people. But working with the public is god awful.
Well, the problem is you get some guys or women, and either way, that either want to milk the system. Say you have a good system in place for discounts or something, and they want to milk that as much as they can. Or you've got people who think that they know more than the people that are working there.
Especially about your job.
Oh, yeah.
Buddy, if you know how to do this, come over here and do it.
Right.
Like, why are you calling me over here?
There was one of the departments that's right by my department. There was a guy that came out, and every time somebody comes to use the elevator, I say, oh, did you find everything you were looking for? That's if they've already passed one way and I've already said hi to them.
Yeah.
It's kind of another way to, make sure I acknowledge that they're there, and if there's something that I can help them with.
Yeah, it's your 3 A's.
Right. So, and they'll be like, there was one guy who was like, well, if the guy over there knew what he was talking about. And I'm like, what do you... I didn't say anything, and I'm like...
No, it's just like, well, what was the problem?
Well, yeah, I said that. He said, nothing, he just didn't know what he was talking about. And he closed the elevator. I talked to the guy later. Apparently, there was sales tags that weren't put out.
Yeah.
So when he went in, he didn't know anything was on sale. But it's just like, there's guys that come in that think that they know everything. And they don't. But then, another note.
But on the flip side of the coin, don't think that we know everything.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Like, you start asking us some obscure stuff, like, no clues.
Oh, there was one guy that came up and asked me if the bullets for the range rounds that we sold were the ones that I had in the range.
Yeah.
Were solid or if they were pieces. Or, like, granulized. I said, what are you talking about? I said, I'm pretty sure they're all solid. When he got out of the range, he kind of passive-aggressively, he's like... Or it was either when he got out or later in the conversation. He's like, by the way, what I was talking about when I was talking about granulized, he said, he's like, some of them use, actual copper-coated jackets.
Yeah.
And he's like, other ones just take pieces of copper and shove them together on the end of the round. I said, I've never seen that in my entire...
Yeah, this is all news to me.
Right. I've never heard of that. I felt I would have heard about something like that. Because the guys that I talked, like, I know somebody who reloads. He looks at,
Well, some of that could straight up just be a large-scale manufacturing process.
Right.
Which a hand loader, doesn't mess around with that kind of thing.
Well, no, but if they're, like, when he buys the actual bullets, that would be something he would look for. And if he found that, he would say, hey, by the way, don't ever shoot this round or rounds with the bullet from this manufacturer.
Either that or it just straight up doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And the guy just for whatever reason thinks it does.
But that's my problem is he was very like adamant about it, and I said, you're more than welcome to look at them if you would like to, but I'm pretty sure they're solid bullets. And he looked at them. And I mean, I gave him Winchester.
Yeah.
Winchester doesn't play. Like.
Yeah, they're pretty much one of these standard ammunition manufacturers. They're not.
That and Federal are my two favorites.
Federal, it depends on what you're buying from Federal.
American Eagle.
No, I mean, their whole line of ammunition. A lot of their stuff is high end. Some of the other things that I've heard issues between, especially when you're talking handgun loads. because some of them can be
haven't-
overcharged or undercharged for a weapon. Some of them get finicky. I mean, they are the gold standard for a shotgun round.
Yes, they are.
Other than like specialized hand load, or if you're paying like obscene amounts of money, they are the gold standard.
Kind of. No, anyway, so, but then you get people that walk in like that. Yeah, but people who work with the public have it rough, I would say.
That and we're not getting paid worth shit.
And I mean, I'm not including like radio personalities either. I mean,
That's not even really working with the public.
oh yeah, you got to go out and do appearances at places.
That's still different. You're not working with the general public.
Right. You're working with a select group.
Yeah. You're going into people that it would be like if we only had to deal with our regulars and our best people.
Right.
People who already liked us, treated us well, da da da. That's what that's like. Well, that's not the general public.
Right. No, but there's anyway. So yeah, so if you're going out, just keep in mind,
don't be a horrible human being.
Pretty much. Yeah, that's pretty much what it boils down to. Which kind of brings us to our next section.
Movie Madness Monday. Movie Madness Monday.
How does this transition over?
I don't know.
How does that actually transition over?
It
They literally have nothing.
It
in
didn't,
common.
but I needed a transition, and I couldn't think of a good one.
Well, how about this? You just tell me, hey, we're running short on time for this segment. How about we go into this next one? Movie Madness Monday!
By the way, in case you didn't know, Anthony was one of the two people that voiced that particular intro. And it was an accident. It was phenomenal, and I still use it.
It was not actually an accident. It started off as an accident, then we actually tried.
No, I know.
You're making it sound like you just like we're secretly recording us in the bathroom as we're going Movie Madness Monday.
No, it was one person did it, and then Anthony joined in, and then they realized it sounded good, and so they like added a little bit at the end.
Well, the adding the bit at the end was, well, we also tried to, harmonize a bit. We kept it going, had a nice steady going. But we were also joking around about the, kept it going at the end. We had a small competition to see who could keep it going.
Right.
I can't remember who won.
Do you want to listen to it again?
Well, that's not the one we went with.
Yeah, it was.
No, it wasn't. We didn't even record that one, I don't think.
We didn't pre-record any of them. It was literally on air. We were chit-chatting, and you guys did that. And
yeah, but
I
we did set one up for you to cut.
Oh no, I went into the show. I went back into the show, dug through the 2 hours of audio. Actually, I had to figure out what show it was because this was several months later. Figure out when in the 2 hours it was and pulled it out. That was the piece during the show, and then I put a slight echo on it, so it made it nice. So it made it sound a little bit cooler.
Yeah.
Either way.
Do either of us really know about any of the current movies? Like, I don't know about you. I haven't actually been to the movies in...
I haven't. I've had this thing that's been going on, but because I can't get a steady host, I can't keep it going. I was doing this Fresh and Retro Pick of the Week, which I'm trying to get back, but I need to have...
what? Of the week?
Netflix Fresh and Retro Pick of the Week. So we go on Netflix, we find two movies that are a good pair. We deem one fresh, which is like the newer one would be the fresh one. The retro one would be kind of the older one. And then we watch them both, and then when we come in, we give reviews of both. And it was good for a while.
It's not really a good name, though. I'd go with, like, the Fresh and Refresh. Fresh and Refresh.
Whose show is it?
Yours. I'm
Right.
giving This is called constructive criticism.
I like my name. I like the name of the show, or I like the name of the segment. I thought it was cool.
It doesn't roll off the tongue, and as you can see, I had no idea what you were saying the first time.
You just don't listen
Whereas,
to me.
fresh and refresh. Fresh and refresh.
Your phone's going off.
Was that mine?
Yes.
Oh yeah, it was mine.
You're the only. Your phone is the only one making noise.
Yeah, no. Yours has been like vibrating through this whole thing, man. So don't you be giving me shit.
No, it hasn't.
It hasn't in a while, but I'm sure if we go back to the early parts of this, you can hear your phone vibrating. That
No.
wasn't me.
Because I was listening to it. No. Anyway.
Yeah. What you heard, the brr, brr, that was yours. Mine was still had the buzzer, the alarm on.
Okay. So, for Movie Madness Monday, I have some more sad news. Did you hear about Troy Gentry?
Who?
Montgomery Gentry?
I was thinking, but like, how is that related to movies? That's music, man.
It's media.
It's not Media Madness
It was
Monday.
something I wanted to cover, so I threw it under Movie Madness Monday, okay?
Well, that's what it should have its own header, not under Movie Madness Monday. Movie Madness Monday, we talk about movies.
And as you just brought up in front of everyone, we haven't been to the movies in a while. And I do have some movie stuff later, but I wanted to talk about this, okay?
Well, this is Movie Madness Monday. Why talk about it later when we should do it under Movie Madness Monday and do the other thing later?
No, because Movie Madness Monday is the end of the show. That's the last section. This is how it goes. There's a format, you know.
You have a format?
I do.
Really?
Yes.
I always thought the format was just us get plastered and screw around on radio.
No, that's never been it. That's what you think it is.
No, that's been us. Those were the early days, man.
The early days, yes. That's before
Yeah, we were never sober for like the first 50
I was
episodes.
sober. You weren't.
Yeah, no. You were keeping up with me, mate.
No.
Well, actually, no. You've never really kept up with me, but you were always a little more of a lightweight.
Anyway.
Like, as you're still sitting there with a quarter of a beer, and I'm like, I would be downing my third right now.
Back to what I was talking about.
Actually, speaking of which, hold up.
Did you hear about this or not?
One moment. I'll be right back.
I can't take him anywhere. It's upstairs.
I'll be right back.
Man, talk about somebody else had a problem.
Get good help.
I can't get good help. Please, if any of you would love to be a co-host on my show, please Facebook message me at any point during the show. I would even take calls right about now. Yeah, no. Cause I need a solid co-host. All mine keep flaking. Either that or drinking. Man. Good help is hard to find these days. So anyway. Well, Anthony. Oh, he's back. Okay.
So impatient.
I am impatient.
Now we can all
You
cut
couldn't
this out in post, right?
You
We're
couldn't.
live, aren't we?
Yes.
Oh.
He just doesn't listen to me. Anyway.
Do you want one of these 3 beers?
No. Put them in the
Good,
fridge.
because they're all mine.
Put them in the fridge.
Oh, it's all right. They're not going to be all up here long enough to get cold and warm.
So have you heard about Troy Gentry or not?
No.
Okay. Troy Gentry died in a helicopter accident this past week. Yeah. He was on his way to a show in that's just wrong. He was flying.
Poor taste.
He was flying to an airport in New Jersey to do a show.
Obviously wasn't if he crashed.
He was heading there.
No, he was heading towards the ground.
Originally that's where his anyway.
That's where he wanted to go.
So this happened this past week. Shortly after the news of this, because my Facebook my Facebook was blowing up with all these country artists and all these people that were just, because I was super sad. I had literally a few days before this happened, I was literally had the thought, I'm like, when are Montgomery Gentry coming back? I'd like to see him again. They were a really good concert.
Yeah.
So I found this out.
Well,
And
now here's your answer.
it literally put my day down in the toilet.
Hey, I literally cried when Chester Bennington died.
I felt like crying. So, anyway,